Most people don't like getting interrupted. This is particularly true if you come from a culture where interruptions are anathema, meaning they're super mean or offensive or abhorrent. So in some parts of the US, interruptions are quite common, believe it or not. It's common for people to interrupt one another as well as to be interrupted themselves. And in that type of context, it's not considered rude, and most people don't take offense to it. This is what conversation analysts call overlapping speech. So overlapping speech is a form of interruption because one person is talking and then someone else cuts in to add or expand. And in this way, it's seen as collaborative and friendly. So if you spend any time in New York, you'll definitely find people talk fast and also interrupt often. And so in the context of New York City, overlapping speech, interruptions happen quite often. So that's just a heads up. And I really encourage you, if you're in New York anytime, to pay attention to that overlapping speech. It's all right to be interrupted, but if it gets to the point where it's constantly happening, then it might get a little bit frustrating. So today I'm teaching you phrases so that if you're being interrupted and you're not okay with that, you'll know how to avoid getting interrupted. So let's get right to it. Now keep in mind with the phrases that I'm about to share with you, the way you say them, the delivery is everything. You can be assertive without being rude, right? We never want to be rude in conversation, but we do want to stand up for ourselves. We want to be assertive. We want to be confident. So if you say the phrases in a firm but softer tone, and you put a slight smile on your face, and you adopt non-aggressive body language, then the phrases that I'm going to share with you will absolutely not come off as offensive. However, please note that if you use a combative tone, if you don't have a smile on your face, but you have a scowl, and if you have aggressive body language, then chances are the following phrases will come off as rude. So definitely be mindful of how you are saying the phrases. So with that, let's have a look at the phrases. I wasn't quite finished yet. I wasn't quite finished yet. Sorry, but you cut me off. Now, you don't have to say sorry because if you recall, I talked about over apologizing, so it's better not to say sorry, but some people feel like to soften the blow and to sound less rude, to add sorry into that sentence. But personally, I would try to avoid using sorry when you're not actually apologizing. So just a heads up with that. I was still talking. I'm not done yet. Would you let me finish, please? I'm actually not finished yet. Would you let me continue what I'm saying? I didn't finish my thought when you interrupted. Mind if I continue? Oh, now I lost my train of thought. Do you mind if I finish before cutting in? I was in the middle of my thought. Before you jump in, may I finish what I was saying? Thank you. So notice how I was not aggressive. I had a smile on my face, softer tone, non-aggressive body language, right? So as you can see, the key with these phrases in this context, delivery is everything. Please pay attention to how you are saying these phrases. You might even notice that there is a fine line between being aggressive and being assertive. We never want to be aggressive in our communication because that just gets too combative and it sends the wrong message and it's not collaborative, right? Instead, we want to be confident and we want to be assertive. So I highly encourage you to practice these phrases in front of a mirror so that you can check your facial expressions, your body language, and your posture, because you might be doing something that you're not even aware that you're doing. I recommend adopting a relaxed body stance, have a good posture, use openly outward sweeping hand gestures. It shows inclusivity and collaboration, and have a slight smile on your face. And then I would highly recommend recording yourself. You can just do it on your phone, or if you have a camera handy, use that. That way you can also hear the tone of your voice, because that's really important. So use the softer tones because those are more pleasant to the ear. And also use a falling intonation instead of rising intonation, because you want to sound confident. You don't want to ask for permission, even though some of the phrases are questions, but they're rhetorical questions, right? They're not meant to be answered. Just also keep in mind that when you get interrupted, it's not usually out of malice. The interrupter is not trying to be rude or not trying to cut you off, right? Really think of interruption as an overlap of speech, meaning that they want to contribute too. Maybe you said something that they got them thinking, that they want to elaborate on and expand on, and they got, excited about what you're sharing. So just keep in mind, think of it more as them trying to be collaborative. And even if they interrupt, try not to take it too personally. But of course, that being said, if it happens often, if it happens where you can't even get a word in edgewise, right? You're being interrupted too often and you're not able to share what you want to share, then you have to stand up for yourself. And so these phrases will help you do just that. And that's why I encourage you to practice these phrases ahead of time, know them really well, have them in your back pocket so that the next time you are interrupted and you don't want to be interrupted, you want to complete your thoughts, you'll know how to do that. All right, advanced English learners, that is all for me today. I hope that you found this lesson helpful. Let me know which one was your favorite phrase. Which do you think you're going to use first? And also, what is your experience of being interrupted or interruptions in the US culture context? What have you done in the case of trying to prevent being interrupted, or what to do when you are being interrupted and you want to actually continue what you're saying? All right, share that with us in the comments. I will see you in the next advanced English lesson where we'll continue advancing your English. Until then, keep up the awesome work. Bye for now.